Hey there, mini wargamers. Owen here again for another Tau Tactica. This time I'm going to go over most of the HQ units in this video because I'm going to be talking about the Chasseau, Chassel, and your Ethereal. Those are the three, and what works, what I like on them, what works with them, some units that are very good with them, and basically my opinion of them. Later on, I think I'm just gonna move through the book. This is how I'm gonna be doing it, just to give you a bit of a prelude or an idea of how it's gonna go from here. We're gonna start off with talking about the HQs, which I'm gonna do here. And from there, we're gonna go to elites and troops and fast attack and heavy support. Makes sense, right? But I'm not gonna be doing this on a unit-to-unit basis because, as I explained in the last video, that doesn't work for Tau. Because you don't have like, oh, this unit does this. No. This unit works with this unit, that works with that unit, and together they get a mediocre job done, right? No, we win. That's right. So here's our little trio. On the left, we've got a Chassel, in the middle, a Chasseur, and on the right, we've got an Ethereal. Now, on their own, the Chasseur and Chassel are pretty good. The Ethereal, not so much. You're bringing him because you want him to die. Because as per the new rules for preferred enemy, you will now get to re-roll your ones to hit and to wound with not only melee but with shooting as well, which is a phenomenal benefit. The Chasseur and Chassel, which are basically buffed up battle suits, multi-wound, multi-attack, better ballistic skill battle suits, which it's hard to say when I'll talk about them because they're like the support for your entire army. Now, this is really one good benefit of the Ethereal though. When you bring him, you have the option to bring him with a team of Fire Warriors that are his honor guard, and for only 2 additional points, they all get a better ballistic skill, which basically makes it so they no longer need a marker light to support them, because they'll hit on 3s and wound on 3s on pretty much anything, and better Fire Warriors are key, because Fire Warriors are everything. This is your army right there. These guys are what will win you almost all your game. That being said, they won't win it by themselves. You got your battlesuit commander standing there with most likely with a bodyguard or attached to a unit of battlesuits. They're gonna support the Fire Warriors when anything that you can't deal with comes at you. So if you get attacked by, say, a tank or a dreadnought or something like that, that's coming towards you, barreling towards your Fire Warriors, battlesuit commander and his battlesuit buddies are going to jump out. They're going to blast away with plasmas and missile pods, because that's all you need in nowadays. Missile pods crack almost anything, and plasmas give you lots of shots. So more firepower, more shots, that's what wins. Really good shots that are few in number aren't going to do nearly as good, as a side note, as my preference. So volleys, mass, more wounds, more shots, more bodies, more units, that's what wins you the game these days. Small, really elite armies don't do nearly as good as they used to because they can't get across the board anymore. Now here I've got a bit of a mock battle set up, just to give you an idea of some of the principles that stick by. Target priority is it's the way you play. You have to know what you're going to do. You have to know who to shoot, who is the bigger threat. In this little example, we have a squad of orc boys and a looted wagon, facing off against a team of Fire Warriors and the battlesuit commander. Now let's say it's the Tau turn. What are you up against here when you look at this? You've got your orcs, they've got their pistols and close combat weapons, so they've got short range, very good in melee compared to you, they've got lots of attacks, and a large group, a pretty good unit of them, so they've got a couple wounds. Then you've got the tank, where it can drop that large blast, strength 8 AP 3. All he needs to do is hit, and your whole unit will disappear. Which one is the bigger threat in this group? Now, you're gonna think it's the tank, but it's not. Those boys are far larger of a threat than that tank is, because unlike the tank, or rather the tank, unlike the boys, can't stop you from shooting. They can. So when it comes to the Tau turn, you're going to want all of your Fire Warriors to dedicate every shot they have right into those orcs. Because as many as those, if you can kill all the orcs, yeah, you're probably going to get hit by that large blast. But the other benefit of this is the battlesuit commander has the option that at the end of the phase, in the assault phase, he can move again. So hopefully you can get a decent roll. Now I say hopefully because you can't guarantee everything, but you should be able to get about 6 or 7 inches. That's the average. So what you simply do, move your commander away from the fire warriors. You could have shot at the large tank there, glanced it a few times, and you might have even killed it. And the battlesuit commander is entirely possible that he could have killed it. But that's not what you want to do here. You gotta kill the fire warriors, because you can kill the tank later and the tank can't kill everything. But if those boys make it to you, then it's over. The battlesuit commander in this regard isn't going to do really a lot to help these guys out. He's only there to distract the tank. See, now I show you these things and I list off how these battlesuits or this commander and the fire warriors work together, but it's one situation. This isn't a guaranteed, every time you come across a battle, you're going to have to decide between this, and the easy choice is always that one. Because it's never the way it is. You're always fighting somebody who's got 15 different things that are the major threat. But with Tau, and especially with your commanders are not going to win you the game. That's not what they're there for, and they're going to fail if you try and depend on them. The Ethereal is there to die. That's the way it is. He suffers for it because he makes everyone else better when he goes away. So you want him to go away. The commanders, they're just fire support. They either attach to the unit to give them a better leadership, or they fly around with the other battlesuits trying to blow up artillery and tanks. That's all they're there for. They're not going to dive into combat and go all Mephiston and destroy an entire army. No, that's not what they're there for. They're there to back up your fire warriors. They're there to protect your tanks. That's what they're going to do. They're there to clean out infantry that your guys can't kill. So if you're up against things like Space Marines, if you're up against Chaos Space Marines, if you're up against, you know what, really just Space Marines. All the generations of Space Marines. Necron too, they're kind of annoying, but the 4-up save on the new Necron Warrior, not as big a deal. You don't have to worry about them. But on an average, if you come to a situation where, like the one I just showed there, where there's either one thing will shoot and blow you up and kill all your guys, the other one will assault, and you'll have to fight, and you get your stand and shoot, and you gotta hope. Kill what can assault you, because that's how you're gonna win. You're not gonna win by fighting their guns. You know you're gonna win that way. You have a better gun than everyone else does. Well, other than Necron. But you can outgun the things that come against you. You can't beat them in melee, and if you depend on, if you're more afraid of their guns than you are of their melee units, then you have the wrong priority. The only time you're going to focus fire on something that's far away, something that's going to instant kill your units, is if that's what you're depending on. If you built a list that was dependent on battlesuits and piranhas and all those other things that are not really the center of your army, then you have to kill the things that are going to kill you. That's the way it is. So in that case, let's say, you know what, I'll show you.